What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Gotta Cast 'Em All, a very special Gotta Cast 'Em All. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew, aka Major Gains. Joining alongside me is the man who probably knows more and loves Pokemon more than I do. It is Wolfstalker25 himself. How you doing, Wolf?
I am doing good. I am excited. Just went through technical difficulties, which was super fun. I'm excited with all the news we just got recently with Pokemon Day and the Pokemon Presents yesterday, because we're recording this live on the 27th if you're on the YouTube side of things. But we had some crazy announcements. It's been an insane week so far. I'm a little surprised we didn't get more. Kinda. Yeah. But it was crazy. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm like you said, I'm very, very excited. The last 24 hours have been a huge whirlwind of emotions for me because not only did we get that Pokemon Presents that is playing right now on if you're watching live right now on twitch.tv/BigWoodLittleBoyGaming or twitch.tv/Wolfstalker25, you will see we're just going to be looping the Pokemon Presents the entire time. But not only did we get to see that, and we got to see the announcements, but I also got to watch WandaVision episode 8, and I cannot get over how amazing that show is. But that is a conversation for a different podcast, which we'll be talking about on Tuesday. But, Wolf, I just want to just dive right into this. Can we talk about how amazing of a presentation this was? I know myself, I had doubts going into this. I'm always, nervous about anything Pokemon because I don't know if they're going to actually give us something we want, if this is going to be more, I know one thing you mentioned was Pokemon Unite when we talked about this previously, how you were kind of upset there was something about that, but honestly, I'm kind of happy. I would rather they give us these bigger announcements and just kind of save Pokemon Unite for a different time. So I'm always kind of nervous about what we're going to get, but man, so not only did they delivered on some amazing things, but the presentation itself, I'm watching it right now. This is gorgeous. Them going through the years, 25 years of Pokemon, them just showing off everything they've accomplished via video games, mobile stuff, merchandise, TV, everything they've done has been so phenomenal and amazing. I cannot believe it's been 25 years. And I'm hoping there's another 25 years coming, especially with, one of the things we're going to talk about later, Pokemon Legends Arceus. This could be a brand new breath of fresh air for the series, and I'm really excited to see what's going on.
Yeah, Legends Arceus looks insane. It could be like a massive game changer for Pokemon as a whole. Mm-hmm. It could be a massive flop, I mean, depending on how this game is, we really don't know. Because it's a prequel. It's a prequel to the Sinnoh region, set who knows how many years before. They didn't really state. But it looks like, like a lot of people are saying, they've made 2 Pokemon games, which is insane that we're getting 2 Sinnoh games within a year's span of each other. But they look like Breath of the Wild and what is it? Link's Awakening? Was that the other Legend of Zelda game that came out recently? Like, it's the exact 2, like shot for shot, like people have compared them. And it's funny, like, because it worked with those games, and it hopefully will work with these. But Legends Arceus the graphics look beautiful so far. I think they just need to work on a little bit of, shading and shadows a little bit from what a lot of people are saying. But I just wonder how the game is gonna play. Are there gyms? Is there an evil team? Are there obviously we see the Pokemon, the starters are from apparently different regions brought over, so we get Rowlet, Oshawott, and Cyndaquil, which is crazy, and I love that mashup. But are there going to be other Pokemon in there? Will they introduce new Pokemon in this game? So that's kind of a thought for me is, is it going to be that? Is there going to be cooperative play? Is it going to be like the wild area where people could be in your game and walk around with you, or is this full-on single player? How much do we get to explore since this is a prequel version of Sinnoh? Are we gonna? Is the big mountain in Sinnoh Coronet? Is that Mount Coronet? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's Mount Coronet. Yeah.
I'm wondering, are we gonna be on the west side of Mount Coronet and never go up north or to the east, or do we get the entirety? Do we get to go in the mountain, on the mountain? What do we get to explore? That's kind of there's a lot of questions I have about it. But so far, it looks awesome. Hopefully, it delivers. A lot of people are really wanting this game to be amazing, and it's open, hopefully fully open world Pokemon, which is something a lot of people want. I'm wondering if they'll stop at Sinnoh, or if there's more to this game besides just Sinnoh, or if there will be DLC for it. But
Yeah. And I mean, we're definitely going to talk more about that as we get to that part of this presents, because it was massive. It was very, very big. But before we dive too deep into our thoughts and opinions on both the Diamond and Pearl remakes and also Pokemon Legends Arceus, I want to briefly touch on Pokemon Snap. So you and I actually did a live reacts to, actually, I don't know if it was live. I think you just recorded it and then posted it on your YouTube channel, correct?
yeah, it was
So
technically live in a sense.
yeah. So Wolf and I sat down and he recorded us talking while we watched it. And you can find it over at youtube.com/dwolfgaming. Go give that a like, subscribe to his channel. It's awesome stuff over there. You're really going to enjoy it if you're a fan of Pokemon. Especially our reactions, especially my reactions. I feel like I was going a little crazy, but it was well worth it in my personal opinion. But before we get into all of that, Pokemon Snap, they released a new trailer that is actually playing right now on the live stream if you're watching along with us. And we have some new details. So new details for Pokemon Snap were revealed. You can use Illumina orbs to illuminate Pokemon. You can edit your photos in new Pokemon Snap with frames and stickers and share them online. A new character was revealed as well. His name is Phil, and he is going to be your rival. And apparently also too, Cerebi has an entire photo deck section with a whole bunch of Pokemon on there right now. So if you're kind of interested in what Pokemon you're going to be finding in this lentil region, head over to Cerebi.net and take a look at their entire photo deck section. It's actually pretty cool. I've got it up on my other screen, kind of just looking through it right now, and I'm excited. Now, I know, Wolf, you really weren't too interested at first in Snap, but you did mention that after seeing this trailer, you seem a little more hyped up. What are your thoughts on Pokemon Snap going forward after seeing this trailer footage?
So yeah, I'm rewatching on my end as well. It just got to the Snap portion, and it looks really good. Like graphically, it looks appealing. I'm always one for the battling aspect of Pokemon,
Yeah.
and the exploration, because I think like this one, you're stuck in that little cart probably the entire time, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so like if it was like maybe on foot, like this portion right here looks like you might be on foot. Like if I could walk on foot, like and walk throughout like the forest or something like that and take pictures, that'd be cool. If I'm stuck in the cart, I might be a little disappointed the entire time. Yeah. But it looks super appealing graphically, and like I said in our like live like watch of it, this game is going to be all PokeTubers' favorite thing for thumbnails.
Oh, right here,
yeah.
100%. Are you kidding me? We talked about that in your video. I am going to take full advantage of this because I don't have Photoshop. I have a hard time making thumbnails, and sometimes I have to reach out to either you or someone else and be like, can you please do this for me? So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, like it's gonna be the PokeTuber's dream, and I probably will get it. Like I said the last time we were talking about this on the podcast, I might still wait a week and just see a little bit of reviews on it first,
right?
Just to not jump the gun, because I don't want to spend $60 on a game that I'm gonna play once and not like. But because I don't sell back my games, I usually hold back like onto everything, because I always want to give it a second chance in the future. But some things just sit, and I don't want to do that with this game and spend 60 on something, especially when we have Diamond and Pearl coming later this year that I'll be getting both of, and then we have Legends Arceus the following year that I'll be getting. So it's like that's already right there a lot of money, $180 to drop an extra 60 on that and not play it is gonna be very unfortunate. So, but it still looks good, and I'm interested. I am more interested now than before.
Yeah, and that makes me excited because I'm really curious to see if there's going to be any sort of multiplayer with this game. I don't think there will be. I can't really see them adding anything. I think mainly just kind of sharing your photos with other people will be the majority of the multiplayer function in the game, which is still cool. I think it'd be really cool if you were like, hey, Andrew, check out this really sick photo of, this Bulbasaur I got. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how'd you get this Bulbasaur to follow you to go into this area? Stuff like that. Because you didn't really play Snap on the 64, correct? I
have never played Pokemon Snap.
Okay, so we kind of talked about it a little bit on our last podcast last weekend. You can kind of manipulate Pokemon to do things, and you can get Pokemon to evolve. And Magikarp is actually one of them that I just remembered. You have to, from one of the levels that you're in, you have to get a Magikarp to follow you across the entire level. And at the end of the level, it jumps into a waterfall and evolves into Gyarados. It jumps out of the waterfall. You have all these opportunities to take really great photos. And it's just kind of like, okay, how am I manipulating this Pokemon to get it to A, either evolve, or B, into a situation where it's going to give me the best results? Because you do get graded on your photos at the end of the levels. I'm pretty sure they're going to be having that carry over into this one as well. I don't see why they would get rid of that. So I'm really excited to try to get the best photos I possibly can of some of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one thing I'm excited about, just thinking about the thumbnail possibility, the wallpaper possibility just for like my computer or something like that. Just taking really nice, cool photos. This is something that does sound exciting.
Right.
Talk about the multiplayer side. If it doesn't have any, which I doubt it would, if it at least had the option to send friends photos on there would be cool. I think a really cool option for multiplayer for this game that they could implement if they ever do a Snap 3 would be maybe if they let you somehow like treat it like the wild area, like maybe the game itself treat it like a wild area, make it small enough or decent size enough to where it could handle it, but make it to where you and maybe one or maybe up to four, maybe up to three friends, so 4-player co-op, can go into the area. They drop you in kind of like a safari zone type thing, where they drop you in, they give you like a 5 to 10 minute timer, and you have that long to take as many pictures of Pokemon as you want, and each picture gets a certain score or whatever. Maybe they make it to where you can only take a picture of, like, let's say a Pikachu once, so you can only take one Pikachu picture, one of this, and each picture has a ranking, and then at the end it comes together, and they kind of like tally up your score, and then like you get maybe like medals or currency or ribbons or something based on like the place you get and the score you get from your total pictures.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that could be kind of cool, that like thinking about it, but obviously they probably don't have anything like that.
Right. I mean, I agree with you. I think that really would be awesome. But kind of going back to what you said about how there's going to be three, I wouldn't call them mainline games, but three $60 titles coming out within the year for Pokemon. That's pretty crazy because you do have Snap coming out in April. End of the year, you have to imagine late October, early November, you're getting, you know, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and then we're getting legendary Pokemon Legendary Arceus. And it's like, that's going to be, you know, March probably of 2022. And it's like, is that going to have a counterpart game with it, do you think? Is there going to be two versions of it, or is it just going to be one?
I think it's one. I think if it was going to be two, they would have said in the thing.
Okay.
Which I wonder if that's... I'm wondering if that's how they'll do going forward. I'm wondering if that's how Pokemon will treat it, where they have this other company. I can't remember, is it Ilka?
Ilka.
It's the company that made Pokemon Home. I wonder if they'll have them deal with the... Maybe if they'll just have them deal with remakes, or if maybe they'll deal with the actual, like let's say Generation 9. They make a Generation 9 in the classic style of combat and everything and gameplay, and then we get Game Freak, who makes these open world Pokemon Legends games that end up being like the Platinum game.
Yeah.
But instead of being like, instead of doing it in like to where it's the exact same game, like how Platinum and Emerald have been, where it's just slightly altered, like this is a prequel. Well, what if that's what they do? They do prequels in the Legend style, and then they do the normal games in their like current time period, and like they have the Ilka company do that one. Which, I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll do that. I mean, maybe Legends doesn't do well, and they only do one game of it, and that's all we ever see. Maybe they only do one maybe they've only planned one in general as just like a kind of test the waters type thing, and then they just take features from this that work and incorporate them into a normal game after this. I mean, who knows? There's so many possibilities they could do with it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Pokemon Legends Arceus is going to do great. It's going to sell like hotcakes, man. It's literally, first 6 months, it's going to shoot up there in the top 10 best-selling Pokemon games because it's so much different. And it's going to be people like us, you know, who have grown up with the franchise and who are so ready for a change of pace, something new. And I think that's really going to kickstart, you know, this big push for more of these types of games, as long as they did it right. But it's going to have people interested right away. My brother, for example, in our Discord, I don't know if you saw it the other day, he was talking about, it was yesterday, he was saying how his daughter is more so for Diamond and Pearl, but then he is going to get Pokemon Legends Arceus. He's not a big fan of Pokemon. He's played the Pokemon games, some of them, but I mean, he's looking forward to Arceus.
Yeah.
It's going to be people like him that are going to be buying this game, and that makes me really, really excited. But real quick, I do want to kind of go on and talk a little bit about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because I feel like we're going to have a lot more to say about Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it's probably going to take up the majority of this podcast. So let's just kind of go through some of the stuff that we know about, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So this is from Cerebi. The Pokemon Presents has revealed a brand new game, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. These games are remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl developed by Ilka and Game Freak for Nintendo Switch and were released in 2021. So, you kind of said it earlier. Ilka is kind of handling the remakes, so that way the Game Freak studio was freed up to handle Pokemon Legends Arceus, because we know that Arceus is this huge, ambitious project for them. It's going to take a lot of people to, iron this one out. But let's talk about, I always forget their names, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I'll go first. I love the design. I've been sitting on it since we recorded our reacts yesterday. I love it. I love the cutesy, chibi versions of these, and I love that it's that bird's eye view, like we're so used to. I'm so glad that they didn't do a Sword and Shield style for these games, because, yeah, I did like the aesthetic of Sword and Shield. I just prefer the old style of Pokemon games, like their look and everything. And I love how basically what they did was just made them a little bigger on the Switch. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same sprite, but just in 3D now.
Yep.
They didn't really do much, and that's fine with me. I think it looks awesome. I know a lot of people are very, very angry about that, and I'm thinking it's just a one-for-one remake. Like, I don't know if there's really going to be a lot added to these games. Like, we don't really have any inklings of Mega Evolutions or anything like that, which I'm fine. I like just my base games. I don't really like a lot of the gimmicky stuff when, the later franchises. I think some of them are cool, like Mega Evolutions is fun, but I'm glad that they're not trying to add anything, as we know of right now. That could change in like 6 months when we find out more. But I'm excited to hop back into the world of Diamond and Pearl. I mean, are we going to have, pieces and parts of Platinum pushed into these, kind of like we saw with Heart Gold, Soul Silver? Or is it just going to be the base storyline of Diamond and Pearl? I think because of what we've seen with the previous remakes, I think there is going to be an intertwined between the 3 games. But nonetheless, I cannot wait. I am so excited to hop back into these games. It's been so long since I played Diamond and Pearl, and I'm really, really looking forward to see, if there's going to be DLC to do, other things in the game, like with Giratina and all of the legendaries that were released, and or are they considered mythicals, like Cresselia and stuff?
Cresselia is legendary. Mythical would be Darkrai, Arceus, and Shaman, and then there's probably like 1 or 2 more in there. But
so it's like, are they going to be DLC, or are they going to be in the game, sort of thing? Like, those are the questions that I have so far. But nonetheless, I'm buying it day one, minute one. Obviously, I have to, and I am looking forward to putting in a lot of hours. What about you?
So yeah, I'm the same way. So when we watched the presents yesterday, initially, when I saw the chibi designs, I was very disappointed. I thought they looked kind of dumb. But afterwards, thinking about it, rewatching it again, thinking about it some more, I'm okay with them now. I'm not mad. I'm not happy. It kind of just, like, it hit me that these are literally just a 3D model of the 2D sprite. That's why the feet are so big. That's why the head's big. Yeah. It's literally just, it is chibi a little bit, but like the Pokemon aren't chibi. A lot of people were like, "Oh, we get this chibi style Pokemon." It's like, no, the Pokemon aren't chibi. The trainer inside of the battles, when you see them, aren't chibi. They're the normal designs, which I would have loved if we would have had that as our actual open overworld sprite, but I'm fine with it, because I mean, I'm sure that style of overworld sprite might have maybe bogged the game down a little bit more. It does upset me though that they because I have it pulled up on the website right now. So this is on Pokemon's website. This is what it says under the Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond thing. It says, experience the nostalgic story from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl games, an adventure born on the Nintendo Switch systems. Adventure in the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl games will take place in the Sinnoh region, rich in nature with Mount Coronet towering at its heart. Sinnoh is a land of many myths passed down through the ages. You may visit many different locations in the Sinnoh region while striving to become the champion in Pokemon League. But it says down here under this, the original story has been faithfully reproduced, and the sense of scale in the original's towns and routes has been carefully preserved. People who played Diamond and Pearl can revisit familiar places and relive familiar scenes once more. For those setting out through Sinnoh for the first time, plenty of new encounters and surprises await. So it says these are faithful reproduced of the game, so it makes me think 1-to-1. But a lot of Eagle Eye people so far have pointed out there's a town in one of the scenes that has a trainer that's not there in the original games, but it's there in Platinum.
Okay.
So, and as well, if you're watching the actual battling that they showed, Porygon Z is there, which I think he's a Platinum Pokemon. So that makes me think we do have the Platinum decks at least.
Yes, I agree. I'm glad you brought that up because that was in my notes. I was going to say that one of the reasons why I feel like there's going to be some Platinum at least pushed in here a little bit is because of Porygon Z, but you just said it.
Yeah, so that was a big fear of mine yesterday after seeing this was, is this 1-to-1? I don't want 1-to-1. I would at least like Platinum, in a sense, remastered, with the heavier focus on Dialga or Palkia, depending on what game you get.
Yeah.
But the at least the dex is nice. I would have wanted a little bit more, especially after getting Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I love those remakes, so to not have like that addition makes me very sad.
Yeah.
But like another thing was like I really wanted I would have loved to see these games in a proper like 3D, like the Sword and Shield style with the movable camera, so you could have seen the Sinnoh region is so like mystical, and it's got so much lore and mystery behind it and everything like that, and the region looks so good anyways in its 2D form and its sprite form. So like to see it in 3D, just to have that camera where we could have looked up at like Mount Coronet, maybe had a wild area, that would have been really cool. It's disappointing it's not there, but we're obviously getting Legends Arceus, so hopefully that still gets to be experienced in that sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but one other thing I had really quick. Now, I did see this. This is a theory, and you had mentioned that we don't know if there's obviously another thing in this, like Mega or Dynamax or anything like that. I don't think Dynamax is here. I think Mega still has a possibility, though. Okay. Now, this is my thought. It could still pop up, and they could just bring in the stones and the Mega Evolutions just like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did. Because Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee had it. Now, this is a theory from going on from people, but I did watch an A-Drive video today. Where, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a guy on Twitter, I don't remember his name, but he posted about this back in like 2018, where there was a Pokemon toy promotion for Mega Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard for like November 2018, which was when Let's Go came out, and Let's Go ended up getting Pokemon in August announced for Megas. Well, I guess there's a leak going around that the same guy posts about, where there is a rumored toy promotion that's going to be happening towards the end of the year for Mega Lucario and Mega Charizard X, which lines up with the exact same time. So we could potentially see in August maybe a reveal that shows Megas are back in these games.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I don't know if that brings new or just the old ones back. Either way, though, it'd be interesting.
Right. You'd have to imagine they're going to bring in new to, like, for Diamond and Pearl, like Mega Primeape and stuff like that. That's not his name, not Primeape. What's Chimchar's evolution? Wow.
Infernape. You were close.
Infernape, yeah, I had the 8 part. So I can see them doing something for the 3 starters. Oh my gosh, could you imagine a Mega Torterra?
Dude,
Or what's its name? That's its name, right? I am
Torterra.
Torterra. I added some extra word. I can't talk wordage there, but I could see them doing that. I mean, especially if those leaks do come true, or not true, but they do end up being real. I guess I would rather have Megas over Z moves or even Dynamax. So if they did add Megas, I wouldn't be that upset. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
See, my main focus for Megas is Cynthia's already scary. I want to see the Garchomp Mega. It's already a Mega. They just got to give it to Cynthia and let her use it. Like, it's. I want to see that because that was what I really wanted. Is I loved seeing the Mega evolution in the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire games. I would love to see a Primal Dialga and Palkia. Like, that was something I always wanted because they look so cool already. But just imagine if like Dialga got even like more armored or crazier spiked or something, or Palkia got more like maybe see-through and like ethereal looking or something like that. I don't know, or like got just bigger. Like I feel like they'd look so cool.
So, no, I agree. That'd be really, really awesome if they did something with those too. Man, I can't believe it's been 15 years since Diamond and Pearl. I can't believe it's been 25 years of Pokemon.
It's it started making me think about it today, because Pokemon was posted on Twitter all day about like 2000 or 99 this game came out, like 2003 that Gen 3 came out, 2006 Diamond and Pearl came out, and it really hit me, and I was like, man, when I saw the Gen 3 one and saw the pictures of it again, I was just like, this just pulls me back to Sapphire, and I was like, this is just such an amazing series, and they have such amazing games, and the friendships and experiences you have and memories that these games build. It's not just like there's been thinking about it, it's like there's been a lot of things that kind of come and go, but Pokemon is very consistent. Like, they're just like, Pokemon is eternal. Like, they just do not go away. They've had their ups and downs, and it's really a shame that, and I'm glad that it's kind of getting away from, because back when we were growing up, you hit a certain age and you were kind of like shamed for liking Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And I'm really happy we're getting to hopefully a stage where kids growing up aren't getting shamed because they're still playing Pokemon.
Right.
Because when we hit probably when Gen 4 came out, if you were like 10 plus playing Pokemon, you were just like looked at like you're a weirdo, so it was like, once you hit that middle school stage, it's like, oh, you play Pokemon? No, what's wrong with you? It's like, oh, it's like, they're a fun game. Why are you hating? So it makes me very happy that Pokemon is so beloved right now, and it's so much bigger than what it was back then, and it's got a bigger audience, young and old, which just allows for, like, in case, like, there is a kid out there who's getting bullied at school because they're still playing it, there's plenty of other people they could just hang out with, whoever, play the game. Like, it doesn't have to be people in your grade at that point. Obviously be safe and don't talk to strangers, but
right. Of course.
But it's just a thing that the series is so fantastic, and it's had 25 great years, had some bad years in there, probably, and some years where nothing came out, but it's a fantastic series, and I'm so happy that's continuing. And just like I said, there were so many memories coming back of just Gen 3, Gen 4, even Gen 5, that it just made me like get very nostalgic today thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I feel you completely. I had that moment too when you brought it up, how they were tweeting about all the the old games and stuff like that, and mine was also with the Hoenn region. But did you see that tweet where it was like, Hoenn horns go burr? Yeah. It made me laugh pretty good.
They didn't do that, it seemed like, with any of the other regions. It was like Hoenn horns. It's like I think they know that Gen 3 is a really loved region.
Yeah.
A very special one, in my opinion. Like, I have a hard time picking, because I always think Gen 4 is my favorite, but then I think back to it, and I'm like, Gen 3 was like so good. It makes it hard not to like love that one the most.
I know, man. That's why Emerald, it's still to this day my favorite Pokemon game. But real quick, I wanted to read a couple comments that we have, at least in my live streams. I know you're also streaming over at twitch.tv/WillSoccer25. Babylon Games says, want to know why Andrew doesn't mind the chibi characters? Points to his love of Final Fantasy IX. True. And the first 4 Final Fantasy, well, actually, first 6 Final Fantasy games, really. I mean, they were little, not so much chibi, but they were a little more, they were the old school 16-bit type of games. And those are also some of my favorite games. But that is a big reason why 9 is one of my favorites, because it does look so much like the old games. And then also, too, Black Kool-Aid says, I'm just glad where Pokemon has gone within the years. It's awesome. Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm really looking forward to the future, which is a perfect segue into the future of Pokemon. So, right after we got the announcement of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, my good friend Wolf, we got the banger Pokemon Legends Arceus, a open world action RPG. I never thought ever that we'd be sitting here having a conversation about a Pokemon open world action RPG. I remember months ago when you and I had a phone call. Remember when we were talking about doing we were talking about what we would want to see the future of Pokemon, in the route that they would go. And it was always just a pipe dream. We were always like, oh, it'd be so cool to have like a Breath of the Wild type Pokemon game. Well, that dream has come true, my friend, and we're getting it spring of 2022. And we've got a lot of information, actually. I don't know if you saw this, but Nintendo of America dropped a lot of bombs about these games. Or this game, I should say. But real quick, it is a prequel that takes place in Sinnoh, for those who don't know. And I can't wait. I'm sure you can't either. So before I get into the details about what Nintendo of America tweeted about, let's kind of break down our initial thoughts of what we think of the footage. So I'll start. Just want to say, they're a year out, right? They said spring 2022.
Yeah.
Thank God it's spring 2022. I don't want to sound like this type of person, but that looks bad. Completely honest with you, it is. The frame rate's just dropping. The shading and everything like that. You mentioned that earlier. The shadows and everything. It looks bad. It definitely looks like it's in pre-production. So I hope that in like 6 months to a year, when we get another trailer for this game, it looks a lot more polished. Actually, it's funny that we're bringing it up because right now the YouTube video is playing the part of when they announced it. So I'm kind of excited. I get to watch it again. But besides that, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Like, sneaking in the grass to go up to a Pokemon that looks so cool. Seeing Piplup running around in the wild, that is nuts. I saw there's a Chimchar that runs around in a little bit here as well. Rhyhorn's running around. Like, I'm really excited to see what the Pokedex is going to be. I mean, we got the 3 starters, Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Piplup. But I'll go into detail on why I think those are the 3. I actually stole this from A Drive because I also watched an A Drive video before we did this. But just watching the gameplay, so you can sneak around. It's a whole brand new catching mechanic because you could just throw your Pokeballs at the Pokemon. But it's so cool because when you go, you can still go into a battle where it turns turn-based.
Yeah.
That right there, if they would have taken away the turn-based battling and it was more like, Kingdom Hearts and like the newer Final Fantasy games of a battle system, I would have been so disappointed because I am a turn-based fanatic. I love turn-based games, whether they're strategy RPGs or they're just old school like 90s style, RPGs. And the fact that it still has the turn-based makes me so happy. I love that it's a prequel. I think that's a really, really cool idea to offer something fresh and something new. Besides the fact that it's an open world action RPG. I mean, that's super new and fresh too. But it's going to be really, really exciting to kind of see how they build upon the story because it's got the god of all Pokemon, Arceus. Like, what's the play here? What is he going to be doing? Is Dialga and Palkia going to be in this? Are all of the legendaries from the Sinnoh region going to be in this? Are they going to be DLC? You know what I mean? Like, these are the types of questions that I have. But I mean, obviously, 10 out of 10, I cannot wait for this. What are your thoughts?
I am also very excited. So, because it's a prequel, it brings up a lot of questions. Are there gyms? what are we what is the purpose of this game? What are we doing? You know, what is the goal? Is there an evil team? Thinking about just now, when I was looking at the thing, I was just watching the same thing you were, where it was I fast forwarded like a little bit to the same trailer and I rewatched it there. But that one town that you see really has like an olden, like wooden wall, like keeping things out. So I'm wondering if this is like the very early stages of the Sinnoh region, not Hoenn region, the Sinnoh region, where like you are going there to help like you're a young trainer helping to find out what Pokemon are in this place. But I wonder if you're also like helping or seeing the Sinnoh region get built. Like, you know, I wonder if maybe your character will be someone who helps create maybe the tunnels through Mount Coronet, or maybe you're the person who helps map the routes between the towns, and like you see these young early stages of towns. Maybe you're one of the trainers that helps imprison Regigigas.
Oh yeah, wow, I didn't even think about that.
Like who knows when Regigigas is even like imprisoned, but like, you know, will we see a young Professor Rowan? Is it? Which one is this one? I don't remember.
You would know more than I would, man.
I don't remember which one this one is. I think it's Rowan, but I could be wrong. But like, what if we see like a young version of the professor there, and you help him decide who the starters are going to be? Maybe he sends you out on a mission to go capture starters for the future generations that come through this region or whatever. Maybe you see a like Cynthia's mother or something, or maybe you see a young Cyrus, and maybe you see the early stages of Team Galactic get formed, where maybe they're like a helpful peacekeeping group that eventually gets corrupted, and like a young Cyrus takes over and dethrones whoever the peaceful leader is of the time. Like, we could see a very like beginning form to this, like the Diamond and Pearl. I mean, who knows exactly when Diamond and Pearl even take place, you know, like what year that is supposed to be. Like, I know it takes place around the same time as the Johto games, but like, you know, we don't know like what year the Pokemon universe is in, like where their technology is advanced enough to. So this game could be really just like super old, and maybe we're helping create this future Sinnoh region that we end up playing.
Yeah. So, real quick, I want to go over what Cerebi says first, and then I will pull up those tweets from Nintendo of America. So this is straight from Cerebi.net. The Pokemon Presents has revealed a brand new game, Pokemon Legends Arceus. This game is the new style of game by Game Freak set in old-time Sinnoh and will release in early 2022. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a new experience for the Pokemon series. Pokemon live freely in the wild. People from the world have settled in Sinnoh. You get given the starter of Rowlet, Cyndaquil, or Oshawott, and strive to complete the Pokedex. Battles are seamless, and you can catch Pokemon with Pokeballs. To catch Pokemon, you need to observe them, sneak up to them, and aim your Pokeball. You can also get your ally Pokemon to battle them. It's a single-player action RPG. So that's Cerebi, right? Doesn't really say much besides what we've already known. But Nintendo of America yesterday, tweeted out a couple of new things that we didn't know. So I'll go down the list, I'll read these, and we'll kind of talk about them. So this is from Nintendo of America. Featuring new action and RPG elements, you'll be able to capture or battle wild Pokemon. To catch them, you observe and learn their behavior, then carefully sneak up, aim your Pokeball, and let fly. We knew that one already. But this one kind of answers your question. You asked about, gym leaders. I don't think there are. Listen to this. In this era before Pokemon trainers and Pokemon leagues, you and your partner Pokemon will work together to create the Sinnoh region's first Pokedex.
Okay.
Interesting, right? You'll begin your Pokemon Legends Arceus adventure with either Cyndaquil, Rowlet, or Oshawott. Which of these partner Pokemon will you discover the past with? And then it shows a really cute photo of the three of them. Honestly, I love that these are the three starters too, because I love these three starter Pokemon. So I'm stoked. It's gonna be it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I was just talking about the starters this morning with a couple people, and it made me think about it. Like, cause I was like, why Oshawott? You know, I was like thinking about it, and then I was like, well, I guess he's the strongest choice out of those three starters from Unova. Like, Tepig and Snivy are just kind of starters.
Yeah.
Like, Oshawott's definitely the best choice. Like, obviously, I would have rather had Totodile or Popplio, but in that, like, aspect, like, then you get a lamer version from that region. Like, Rowlet is definitely probably the best choice to go for from Gen 7, and Cyndaquil is great. I would have preferred Totodile, but it just equals out to these ones being obviously the best choices from each of those regions.
Yeah.
I love that
agree.
Cyndaquil's fire is back on its back though. Did you notice that? It wasn't like off or anything. It was active, it seemed like the whole time.
Yeah.
So
I know.
they
I know.
finally 3D modeled it again.
Yeah.
Or did it for the first time, I should say, from the sprites.
Yeah. So, going on, in the long ago era of Pokemon Legends Arceus, you'll experience the gameplay of Pokemon from a whole new angle. The early Pokeballs were different from what we know now, made mostly of wood and steam puffed from their tops when Pokemon were caught. So it's a brand new Pokeball with brand new Pokeball designs. I guess technically not brand new because it's from so long ago, which also leads me to think this game takes place a long time ago, Wolf. Before modern civilization, because you can see in the trailers too that it's like old school, Japanese style like architecture and stuff like that, which kind of goes into line with what I'm going to talk about with the starter Pokemon and why I think those are the three that were chosen. Well, actually, I only think this because A-Drive did a video on it and someone tweeted about it, and it makes a lot of sense. We'll talk about that here in a second. The last tweet they put out was, the mythical Pokemon Arceus will play a role in the story of Pokemon Legends Arceus. What secrets could this mighty Pokemon be hiding? And it's really cool. This is just something that I noticed right now. It's kind of vague, but the color scheme on this photo of Arceus shows the colors of Dialga and Palkia, leading me to believe that they're going to be in this game. I mean, they have to. It's Sinnoh, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just kind of what I think. So, a lot more information. Awesome. The starter thing. Let's just talk about that real quick. Cyndaquil, Rowlet, Oshawott. Their third evolutions, this is just a wild theory. This is what they possibly might represent. Because it is olden days, Sinnoh, a long time ago. Typhlosion could possibly be the warrior. Decidueye could possibly be an archer. And then Oshawott's evolution, Samurott, is the samurai. A lot of people think that's why those three were picked, because they most represent old, Genghis Khan era and stuff like that. Like they're samurais and stuff like that. And that's a really cool theory, in my personal opinion, and why they may have chosen those three.
Interesting. I don't know, because they've already kind of done the whole warrior rogue thing with the Generation 6 starters. Greninja was the rogue, the warrior was Chestnut, and then the mage was Delphox.
Yeah.
So it makes me think, my kind of thought process when I thought about it, when I saw the starters initially, was maybe the reason we're seeing these three picked is because they don't have anything planned for Generation 2, 5, or 7 for a while. So they're giving us these starters here just because we're not going to see them anywhere else for a long time.
Okay, true. Good point.
Because, when you think about it, it's like the next Johto game we could see is Let's Go Johto. Maybe we get a virtual console, but I don't see a Johto remake for a while. I don't see...
And why would we?
Yeah.
We already had Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah, true. Even though they were released in probably 2008, so it's been a long time. But
yeah.
I don't think Johto gets anything in a while. I don't think we see anything for Black and White until a possible Black and White remake in probably 5-10 years. And I don't think we see... Obviously, we don't see anything with Gen 7 for probably 20 years.
Even though they need to give us closure on where that train was going to go in Gen 7.
So I thought that was 6.
Was it 6? I
think it was X and Y.
Yes, thank you. It is X and Y. That's right. So yeah, okay, never mind. 7 was with Rowlet. That's Sun and Moon. Okay. Yeah. I always get them mixed up, the generations now. There's been so many.
Yeah, I think the next game, if they do a Legend style game that deserves it, is Generation 6, X and Y. There are so many problems with that gen of just things left untouched.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That game deserves a Legends Zygarde or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Zygarde, we never really got anything going with him. And then also, too, like I just mentioned, there was that train station that you go to. They're like, oh, the track's not ready.
Yeah.
Then you'd never get anything in another game about it. It's like, what was your plans there? I wish we could go and have a conversation with some of these people and just be like, why?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on
What were
that?
you leading up to? You know, it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. There's so much
Yeah.
there that was disappointing, but I mean that's not really the topic now. But like the starters though, I the idea of that works. You know, Decidueye as the archer, Typhlosion I guess can be a warrior. Um, I also see another thing with the starters working in a aspect of Sinnoh's a very cold region as well. So Cyndaquil is like the perfect fire type. It's got a campfire on its back.
Yeah,
So
true.
like it is a very good survival aspect starter. I don't know why they would have went Rowlet because you think, I mean, obvious. I guess those regions were probably developing or being developed at the time, so it's weird that they didn't choose like a Gen 1, 2, and 3 starter. I guess with Generation 4, but I don't know. Like we don't really know the full-on proper timeline of the Pokemon region, like where everything is like what's advanced already at this point. Like maybe Kanto's like semi-advanced. Like you know, how did this like that's what I want to know is like whoever the professor is, how did they get a hold of these three Pokemon in such drastically different places? Because Rowlet is from Alola, as far as we're
Yeah.
aware, so he's all the way over on the opposite side of the planet. Well, not opposite side because Hawaii's closer to Japan, but like they're still far away, you know. So
Yeah.
what? And then Oshawott from New York, right? That's where Black and White is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like those are other western side Pokemon. The only one that really makes sense is Cyndaquil because that's also in like that area. But like it's just it's a very weird choice. I want to know, I would love to know the actual reasoning behind why these three were picked. Like what chose them.
And you gotta imagine they're gonna tell us, like, maybe it's a part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it kind of plays into the game's like mechanics and lore or something like that. Because there's always a specific reason why they do something with Pokemon. Like there's always something, except for X and Y.
Yeah. True. I'm excited though. I want to see it. I'm hoping that whoever this professor is, like, I I want it to be really old in times, but at the same time, I still want it to be young enough to where we can see some of these older people from Diamond and Pearl appearing in these games. Though I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe I mean I don't know. Professor Rowan or whatever his name is from those games was like probably in his like 70s or 80s. He looked old, but
Yeah.
like I don't think it's old enough to the point where he could be 10 in these games. So
That's kind of how I feel too. I don't think there's going to be any real connection to, you know, Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
I think it's just we're learning more about Arceus because he is, I can't know why I'm saying he. It is a mystery Pokemon. You don't really know a lot about the lore behind Arceus, right?
yeah,
We just know that he's the god of all Pokemon. He created all Pokemon. He created, yeah,
yeah,
right.
he created Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, and then they kind of created other things. Like he created other things as well, but like it was like he created certain things and then just was like, you three go make other things. I'm gonna go somewhere else. So I mean, it'd be kind of interesting if maybe we like saw a event where maybe this was the first attempt of Giratina breaking out of the distortion world or something like that. Maybe we help
Yeah.
Arceus put him back. I don't know. I want to know, like, obviously I would love to see a lot of lore with Arceus in this game, which I think we're gonna get. Like we gotta get it. I wonder if they'll give Arceus some like new form, like maybe they'll give him something insane where like he just has all the plates combined on him and he's just an all type Pokemon. They make it like a new divine type for
Oh,
him with all
man.
the plates attached.
That'd be absolutely amazing.
I don't know. There's a lot that they could do with this game. Was there any more tweets about it, or is that it?
No, that's all they had for that one. They didn't even have any information really for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl either. They just kind of said like, "Come back to Sinnoh." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, enjoy this remake. I feel like we're gonna get a lot more attention on Pokemon Arceus or Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think they're gonna this year. Obviously, we're gonna see more for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. That's you
Yeah.
know obviously, but I really think we're gonna get a big push from them on this new game because it's brand freaking new.
I feel like we're gonna they're gonna be silent on it until like October. I don't think we hear anything really more for this game until like middle half of like the tail end of the year. I think what will like they might do another direct where they talk about it a little bit more to build hype, because it probably will come out in the March April time. Hopefully, if the game is struggling to meet their expectations and like their expectations of the fans' expectations, I am still fine. I am fine with this game getting a delay if it needs it, because
Oh, for sure.
obviously from what we've seen, it looks good, but there still is a little bit more it needs. So hopefully, if they need extra time, they will delay it, because I like this game still could be a summer release, and I think it'll do just as well. I don't think a delay is gonna hurt this game. I think this game is gonna do amazing. Who knows if there's maybe, because I know a lot of people are speculating a Switch Pro at some point, and maybe this game is gonna launch with the Switch Pro.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's another topic for something else, and we don't even really have info on that right now, if that's a
Yeah.
thing. So I think we see Diamond and Pearl again in the summer. We see another Pokemon Direct where they talk about Diamond and Pearl. I'm still holding hope for Virtual Console this year.
Yeah.
I'm still wanting that. I'm very sad that we didn't get Virtual Console talked about at the presents. Like one of the couple things about the present that we didn't get, that I'm very sad that we didn't get, was the Virtual Console and the Pokemon Unite news. Because Pokemon Unite, when it came out, I kind of memed on it at first, and I was like, we're getting a Pokemon MOBA? Like, who asked for this? Who wanted this?
Right.
And then I thought about it more, and I'm like, this game could actually be pretty fun. Like, I might enjoy it. So, like, I think when it comes out, I really do want to, like, hop in, play it, and maybe even just stream it and have fun with it, because it does look interesting. I'm sad we didn't get anything, though, because I think either this month or next month, we're supposed to be getting, like, Canada is supposed to be getting another demo, or not demo, like a beta.
Yeah.
So they're still doing beta testing, so I'm assuming we'll get it in like maybe May, June, July. I don't know. I just wish they would have given us like a little bit of an update on it, because it is something that I think some people are excited about. Maybe. And then the Virtual Console, like I just kind of wish they'd find a way to port the 3DS ones.
Oh, I know.
At least Gen 1 through 2. Even Gen 3 I would take. Like, I wish they would do that. And Generation 5, I said it last time, just all the cartridge games, at least. It doesn't have to be the DS ones, but the actual cartridge ones. I just wish they could get them onto the Switch, just because they're old, they're expensive, they're hard to get, and just to get them in that digital format would be nice, so people could still play them and enjoy them.
Yeah, I think so. This isn't obviously the last little bit of anything we're gonna get from Pokemon this year. You know,
no.
they're gonna show us more of the two new games, but I think that we could still hold out hope for these Virtual Console things. I think this summer for sure we'll see something, because it's the 25-year anniversary. I don't think that they're just gonna be like, this is all we got planned for this year.
Yeah.
And the beginning of next year. I really do think we're gonna get more. I think they wanted to start it off with a bang. You know, they wanted to show you that they had some big things in the works. Like, these are the big, like Diamond and Pearl being their big holiday game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I honestly believe full-heartedly that we will get a Switch Pro next year around March, April, and I could 100% see Arceus coming out with it. You know, maybe like a bundle with like a really nice like Switch Pro that has like an Arceus on it or something like that, along those lines, because I think that would be a great way to just really launch that title. It'll still move Switch Pros too, or whatever they end up calling it. But yeah, I definitely think we're going to see more from them this year. They're not going to be quiet. There's no way.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot better of a job than Nintendo's doing with both Metroid and The Legend of Zelda. So I'm very happy on that front. Let's keep rolling. But actually, real quick, I wanted to mention, did you notice that because it just popped up on the trailer again. At the end of the trailer, when they close the book, right before they show Arceus, it's sitting on top of two other books.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, I wonder if those, like, I'm probably reading way too into this. Do you think those are other stories, maybe? like there's a possibility they could do Pokemon Legends, like these big open world games. They could do like a different legendary Pokemon, or maybe do you think those are like potential hints at like DLC? You know what I mean? Something along those lines. I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out more about it, or it could just be books with absolutely no meaning, and I'm just speculating really far into it because I just want to know more.
I think it's a potential and a possibility that these games could receive a DLC. I don't think it's out of the question. They did it with Sword and Shield, so Game Freak's obviously showing that they have an interest in DLC. My question is like, will the DLC be more stuff involving Sinnoh, or if they did do it, would it be DLC that's an entirely another region?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm wondering if these games, since they're supposed to be like a mainline game, will they have Pokemon Home connectivity as well now? Thinking about it, so like if that's the case, they could do these legend style games for mythical Pokemon. So we could have a definitive way to capture and obtain our mythicals. That'd be really cool. But I don't know. I think I kind of wish that the game started off like, it'd be really cool if the game started off as like an older trainer, like an older professor who's traveled around all the different regions and helped like establish them by, sending out a young trainer like what we probably will be with his acquired or her acquired Pokemon that they've got from previous regions, to be like, hey, these are your starters to pick from. Go help make my Pokedex for this region. It'd be really cool if it was like an older Professor Oak or something, or like maybe Professor Oak's dad or something. Who knows? And this is like a story where he's retelling it from the books that he's got. So maybe those books could point to other Pokemon Legends games.
Yeah.
Like, I would love it if we got like, I was talking about this the other day, like, what if we got a Pokemon Legends for every generation at some point? Like,
That'd be absolutely insane. And I guess really the only way we'll know is to see how this game does. If it comes out and it's the best freaking Pokemon game ever, you could bet your bottom dollar that they're gonna make 100 more of these. You know what I mean?
Like, I would love to see a Pokemon Legends in the early days of Kanto, and we get Pokemon Legends like Mew or something, or Pokemon Legends Celebi.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't the first one.
Yeah, I think, well, I am and then I'm not, because I think a lot of people would have been very mad if we got another Kanto game already.
I would.
We've gotten, obviously Kanto has had 4 separate games. Let's Go, Yellow, Red and Blue, and Fire Red and Leaf Green. So we've had 4 separate games for them, where the only other game that's had things like that is, I mean, every game's only had 2.
Yeah.
They've only had 2 sets of games, and then there's some that only had 1, X and Y. So it's like, getting another Kanto so early, especially with one 2 years ago, would have been, well, 3 years ago now, would have been insane. Like, I'm surprised, and then I'm not surprised, because I think if someone would have saw a Kanto game released again, they would have been furious. I'm shocked that we're getting 2 Sinnoh games, though.
Yeah.
In a year. Like, to anyone who hates Sinnoh, this is a definite, like, middle finger at you. You like, they're just like, you know what? You hated on Sinnoh for no reason. Here you go. Now take 2. So, I mean, I'm happy. I love the Sinnoh region, so it's a very cool thing for me. But it's just very, it was an odd choice. I guess it makes sense though, because like, Arceus is the god of Pokemon, so it would make sense to have the first Legend game starring the Pokemon god. I guess it just makes sense. It makes sense, and I'm happy that they're choosing it, because Arceus is a very mysterious Pokemon that does need more backstory for the world of Pokemon. That's only had, like, I think 2 movies talked about it, and they don't even talk that well about it. So it needs in-game explanation. I'm just sad though that we're not getting a Delta episode style with Arceus in Diamond and Pearl, because I would have loved to see that in the remakes. Would have seen like full-on like Platinum style remakes in a sense, with more story added, and then at the end of it we have an Arceus Delta episode. We could still see it. I mean, they could still do an Arceus Delta episode at the end of the game, but like I I don't know. I don't know if they'll do it with this game coming out too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only thing we're gonna have to do is just sit back, watch, and see
Wait
what
for
happens.
news. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna every single week. I feel we're gonna be talking here like nothing new this week, man. I hope next week we see something new. But I mean, other than that, I think that Pokemon Presents is awesome. But that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much, Wolf, for sitting down with me and having this great conversation. If you like what you heard, please head to twitch.tv/BigBoyLittleBoyGaming. Hit us with that follow button. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested. And you can find us on YouTube by searching Big Boy Little Boy. Or you can find us on Spotify by searching Big Boy Little Boy. You can find all the podcasts there, like this one that you're listening to right now. Also, head over to twitch.tv/WolfStalker25. Follow my boy. Go to youtube.com/DWolfGaming. Hit that follow and subscribe button over there as well. Wolf, do you have any final thoughts before we end this?
No, just thanks for hanging out with us on stream. Thanks for watching, and if you're on the YouTube side of things, let us know as always in the comments from this insane year of Pokemon, your favorite memories, your thoughts about the present, or just anything from the past 25 years that you love about this fantastic series.
Yeah. And just in case anyone is interested in who I'm picking with I play Pokemon Legends Arceus, just look behind me. I've got a little Rowlet right there. Going Rowlet.
You're
Thank you guys
Rowlet.
so much. What?
You're taking Rowlet too?
Oh, yeah.
That's the 100%. One I want.
Oh, man, I can't wait. We're going to have so much fun. But thank you guys so much. Have a good night.